and welcome to Ladies Flint's Fashions. I pray you all are well and blessed and highly favored. Today I am rocking pink, turquoise, which is in the baby blue family, black and yellow all in one. Yes, you can do that with a little bit of silver too. So I'm going to start out with my purse. This is a nice see-through purse. You can put your things in it. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And then on top of that, I have this beautiful necklace that I decided to rock. And with these earrings, they didn't match or go together, but I put them together. And then I have my rings for my bling blings. This has pink in it, and this has all of the colors in it. And it looks nice when it hits the stage. Same thing with the ring. And the skirt, baby, let's not forget the skirt. It has blue, which is like a turquoise baby blue, yellow and pink and black in the background, and I decided to rock it with black. And to top it off, instead of me wearing my boots, baby, I just decided to wear my platforms with all the diamonds, as you can see. So just decided to rock the lady fashions today with 3 colors or 4 colors: yellow, blue, black, and a little bit of pink and silver in it. All right, love you guys. I pray you're well. Bye. Blessings, blessings. Mwah.
You're watching for Jaspo TV, Haitian American Television on the Move, Channel 18.9, Miami, Broward, Channel 11.4, Palm Beach, and the Treasure Coast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ladies Flint's next installment. I have a surprise for you. I pray you all are blessed and highly favored. Y'all know how I do it. You would never guess who I have today. This is one of the shows that I've been waiting for. I have the greatest, one of the greatest entertainers it is. And I do mean entertainment. Beautiful person inside and out, and can sing with that beautiful falsetto. Listen, y'all are in for a treat today. I have Mr. Gregory Popeye Alexander. Yeah! Much love and respect. Much love. Let me just tell this quick story right quick. When I first heard you sing, I was like, oh my gosh, beautiful.
What's she talking about?
Clear, on point. You know how some singers, they'll sing certain notes and then they can't find their notes back to the root of the note. Baby, this man has everything that a singer is supposed to have. He has swag, he has the range, he has the brightness of the voice, the quality. Oh my gosh, just right there. This is the circle, and he's right there in the circle. Perfect. Perfection.
Well, coming from you, that's a massive compliment, because you're the queen, baby, okay? I tell you what, we be doing our shows and doing our little gigs together. I hear you sing some Aretha or something. I said, ooh, Aretha's rolling right now.
You always say that.
Who's that hitting them notes?
To God be the glory.
Come on, baby.
But you know this show is about you. But thank you so much.
No, that's your man now. That's your man.
Thank you so much for the compliment. Thank you.
No, it's the truth.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And so are you. And that's a compliment coming from somebody that's been around the world, and I don't know the rights to that music.
Yeah.
But we're going to get started. We're going to dive in.
Yeah.
I want you to tell, this man has an amazing story. So let's get started. First, I want you to tell me your name, how you got started to where you are now. I know you've done some acting as well, so I want you to tell everything, baby. Tell everything.
Well, my show name is Gregory Popeye Alexander. I was born in New York. I was raised by an entertainment family. My father was a musician. He was also an actor and a radio DJ host. And I grew up in a really wonderful era, if you will, in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And, people would come to the house, and he'd have rehearsal at the house with the band. He had a studio in the basement, and, cars would pull up, and guys would come out and everybody's happy. It was a happy time. It was great music, bebop, jazz, swing, blues.
That's what
you
music
know.
meant something.
Okay,
I mean,
that's what they was playing. It was playing the real Dookie.
no offense
You know
to
what I'm
nothing
saying?
now, but
You know,
right.
So that's what I grew up with. Plus, he was a classical DJ. He used to play classical music and recite poetry on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah, he wrote some poetry and also, you know, recited poetry from other artists, writers. But a very creative environment, if you will. And, you know, people would come to the house. I never knew who they were, you know. And the guy would walk in, hey, son, this is your Uncle Duke. This is Duke Ellington. You know, this is your Uncle Count. It's Count Basie. You know, I had Uncle Ziggy's and Uncle Wiggy's and Uncle, you know, Biggie's and all kinds of uncles. So it didn't mean no difference to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
All of his musicians were like my uncles. You
That's
know?
beautiful.
So being in that environment, they all gave me their instruments to play and would support me in playing them. And I've been able to, you know, make pleasant music out of about 9 instruments. I can make some decent sound out of them. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. I just pick it up and make music.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been a great ride. And, you know, I never took a date to a prom. I took my instruments. I started playing, you know, in junior high school. Yeah.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah. And
I love
you know, that's the way it was. You know, I was one of the
yeah.
youngest guys in a very popular band in New York called the Societies. And one of the guys from the band ended up organizing and creating Atlantic Star.
Oh,
And,
I love Atlantic Star.
They're all from our neighborhood. And yeah, it was a great time, you know, coming up in that era. You know, that's when Motown was kicking off and all of the, you know, the Memphis sound and this, that, and the other. And I had a band called the Societies. But first I got to tell you about this first band. That band, the Societies, were older than us, right?
Right.
So I was a young guy. And the first instrument that I learned how to play, one of them was the upright bass. My dad played the upright.
Beautiful instrument.
And so I'm playing, and I joined a friend of mine. He played piano, and his brother played drums, you know. So we started a band, and we said, Craig and Billy. And Billy said, yeah, why don't we put a band together? We're going to call it the Beggars. I said, the Beggars? He said, yeah. You know, we'll make it a scene, you know.
Right.
And we'll come out and dress like we're, you know, on the streets and stuff, you know. And we thought about it, okay, what the heck? So we got our father's clothes and we ripped them up a little bit, made them dirty, and put fake beards on and got some fake cigars, you know. And, you know, we walked out with the hats, you know, all off to the side and dirty and everything. And we're carrying our instruments out. We had bass, upright bass. We had a piano player. Craig played piano. And Billy played drums, and then we had George was on bongos, and that was it. And the 4 of us would go out, and we'd have a little skit, you know. Man, I sure am hungry. Yeah, me too. We need to get something to eat. I know, man, but where we going to get it? I know some people over there, you know, guys, you know, stupid little skit. And then we start jamming, you know. Oh, let's do some music. Maybe people give us some money. And then we start jamming, right? And we had a song that we made up called The Haunted Castle. You know, it was like dum 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 dum. And the kids loved it.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
No, it was crazy. We won all the talent shows. So meanwhile, this other group, these guys were older than us, and they were making money. They were out making money. You know, this was Societies. You know, they were like mini Temptations. You know.
Right.
So I ended up getting a set of vibraphones when I was 13 for my birthday, for Christmas. And I started playing the vibes, my favorite instrument. And then I brought him over to the guy's house, and this guy Bobby was the singer from the Societies who lived next door. And he heard me playing the vibes. And he said, oh man, you ought to join the Societies. And then the next thing I know, I'm out making money with the Societies and all these guys. I was like 16.
Right.
I guess I was about 16. And all those guys were like, you know,
30s
18.
or 40s.
Yeah, they were actually by 19 to 25, you know, in that range, you know. So anyway, it was a great time. You know, I was out playing in the clubs and playing all the New York City clubs. We were opening shows for Hugh Masekela and Junior Walker and the All Stars.
Wow.
Johnny Maestro and the Brooklyn Bridge.
Wow.
You know, all of these really cool acts from back in the day.
And that's how you get your experience too.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's the best teacher, I tell people.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And back then I was just a musician. I only played music. I didn't sing. I wasn't singing at all.
Wow, I found that hard to believe.
Yeah, I wasn't singing at all. You know, because the funny thing is, my brother was a singer. He had a band. He had a group called what do you call themselves? I'll think of it in a minute. But they had a singer group, and they were winning all the talent shows. He was older than me, you know.
Right.
So they'd be in there singing and rehearsing, and I'd be in the back behind the curtain singing with him, and I'd get hit in the head with a shoe. You know, you can't sing, shut up. You know, like you know. So.
Oh wow! No,
So,
you can sing,
yeah.
baby. You can sing.
Well, thank you, baby. Thank you. But anyway, that was the beginning. I went through that whole thing, and then ended up doing rock. I ended up in a rock band. And
Get out of here!
yeah,
Really?
yeah. I played bass. I played a lot of different instruments. I played bass and keyboards and flute and harmonica and did some vocals with the rock
So you
band. And
just a real time Prince, aren't you?
That's when I started singing. That's when I started singing when I joined the rock band. So we ended up opening up bands. We had a house up in the Catskill Mountains, and we used to play in ski resort clubs.
That's good
And
money.
oh yeah, that was fun.
That's good money.
And we became a house band at a place called in Hunter Mountain. We were at the Hunter Inn. Have you ever heard of a band called the J. Giles Band?
J. Giles Band, yeah. Na 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 na, yeah, of course.
So
Centerfold.
Yeah, we used to open shows for them.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we were playing at the Hunter Inn, and in walks their manager, and he also managed Edgar Winter, and he walks in the place, and we were the house band. And we only did original music. We didn't do anybody else. We wrote our own music. So he came in, loved the group, and he said, "I'm going to put you guys on the road, opening shows for J. Giles and Edgar Winter." So we started doing some university stuff, and then but we were getting a lot of encores. So the last place we did, J. Giles got upset. We got like 3 encores. They wouldn't let us go. And we were tight because we lived together, right?
Yeah, you
And
eat,
5 of
sleep,
us,
drink, everything.
Yeah, and 5 of us had the nice chops, you know, we could sing and harmonize. We were like, it was a rock band, but we were like the Jazz Eagles on steroids.
Oh.
Okay? It was like a jazz rock, okay? That's what it was like.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it was great harmonies. But the group was called Bacchus.
Bacchus.
Yeah, the Greek god of wine, women, and song. And we tried to live up to that.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
But no, it was a great band. That band was hot. It was very, very good. And you know, broke up, and I ended up moving out to California. And when I moved to California, everything changed. I moved to California in a time when Tower of Power was just going international, and they had a club they used to play at called the Keystone Berkeley, and everybody was coming up. Graham Central Station was just starting.
Graham Central
Okay,
Station.
after he left Sly.
Great man.
The Pointer Sisters was just taking off.
Yeah.
Boz Scaggs was becoming national.
Wow.
Elvin Bishop was doing his thing. Cal Jader was coming through, the vibraphonist, and that was my man. I mean, when I first got my vibes, I had a set of Cal Jader. I mean, an album my dad gave me, Cal Jader, Milt Jackson, and Jerry Gibbs.
Right.
Underneath, you know, to learn. But anyway, the place was jumping. You know, Oakland was over the top, San Francisco. And then they had the jazz stuff that was happening over there. And I didn't even talk about all the jazz stuff that was happening in New York before I left, all the Latin stuff.
Right.
Because I was in a Latin band when I was a teenager called El Conjunto Real. And I was playing salsa. And I was playing vibes and flute. And then the jamming went down.
You're so talented.
And then that whole thing went into a whole other animal. But then I left that and I ended up in, that's when I went to the rock band and all the other stuff. And societies and stuff.
Right.
But anyway, I love that Latin sound, you know.
Of course. Honey, that stuff make you move, baby. Get you in shape, too.
I always dug that. You know, I was like that because I used to like to go to the Latin shows, you know.
Right.
You know, you got to be around some of the big stars, Ray Barretto, Tito Puente, Celia Cruz, you know, the real deal.
She was the best. Yeah, she was the real deal.
Oh, come on.
She was the
come
real
on.
deal.
And her jazz.
Understatement.
Her
Yeah,
jazz.
understatement. That
Come on,
lady
man,
did. She did so many albums, it was unreal.
Oh, come on. The queen.
Yeah, she was the queen of
absolutely,
salsa,
absolutely. So, you know, it was cool growing up in that, you know, in New York when all of that stuff was coming together, and people were doing their thing, and then I got to, do the R&B and the rock and the Latin soul and, this, that, and the other. And I was able to mix it up and have an experience of playing different styles of music, which I love them all.
Right.
So, when I got to California, some crazy things started happening. I joined a band. I met a guy at Greg Raleigh, the keyboard player for Santana. He had a party at his house, and I was invited to it. And I ended up meeting this guitar player there, and he was Apache Mexican. And we became good friends. Yeah, he was a wild man. And he used to play with the band Redbone. Come and get your love. Come and get your love. Yeah, so he was a guitar player with them, right? So we met and we hooked up and we became friends. And he said, yeah, man, I want to put a band together. So we put a band together. So we put a band together. It was 4 of us. It was called Hot Sauce. And all of us could sing. It was hot. It was hot. It was hot. It's just 4. Yeah, but it was good. So we were doing our thing. And we ended up at a club called The Orphanage in San Francisco. And The Orphanage is a hot spot. It was right across the street from the old Playboy Club. And everybody and their mother used to come in there. So we were the house band there. So one night, give me an idea. I knew people, met a lot of folks and stuff.
Right.
So I'm hanging out with some of the band members and this. And one guy I was hanging out with, I'm backstage with him. And he's hanging out and he's putting on a lot of makeup. I said, daggone, man, what's up, bro? You putting on a lot of makeup? He said, yeah, man, Bill Graham is coming in the house tonight. I got to put my best foot forward. He's putting on the eyeshadow and stuff. I said, boy, you overdoing it, ain't you? And he laughed. We laughed. I slapped hard. We walked out. And it was Eddie Money.
I remember Eddie Money.
Eddie Money got signed that night.
Wow.
I was with him when he did 2 Tickets to Paradise. And I was backstage with him. And I was actually watching the show from backstage. I knew he was going to get signed. So he was on. He just had it, that night. He was in it, So anyway, that was The Orphanage. You never know who was going to show up.
Right.
So one night, when we finished our show, the Hot Sauce, the 4 of us, the waitress comes over and she says, hey, that guy at the bar wants to buy you a drink. Me and the guitar player. So I said, okay. So we go on over, and he's with a blonde and a brunette. And the girls walk away as we walk up. He's got on a white jumpsuit looking like John Travolta with a pot belly.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I swear. Okay, he had a little mustache, like, he was obviously like Latin, he's Mexican.
Right.
He had that big, thick mustache, and he was cool. He was clean, he's some part of health, So we walked up, and he says, yeah, man, he says, I'm Charles Garcia, my nickname is Buddha. He goes, he looked like a Mexican Buddha. He said, I'm Sly Stone's manager. He says, I like you guys. He says, and I just signed Michael Carabello and Chapito to a management deal from Santana.
Michael Carabello, well, hold on. Now, he didn't have anything to do with Casablanca, did he? Was that?
Casablanca?
With Casablanca Records?
No, Michael was a percussionist for Santana.
Okay.
He was a conga player.
Okay.
And Chapito was a timbali player. That was his rhythm section. The 2 guys, a conga player and a timbali player.
I used to play timbali, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, be good with that.
No, I bet you still can. So anyway, he said, I want you 2 guys in this band. I'm putting around these guys. I want you 2 guys in it. And he said, we're calling the band Cobra.
Wow. So with that, I'm just going to interrupt you for a minute. I want you to tell the story of how you met Prince. I definitely want you to, if you could just jump up just a little bit and tell me how you met Prince. I really, that's amazing to me.
Well, it was kind of funny.
One of the best guys. Oh my gosh, one of the best that ever did it.
The first time I met him, it was at, I was working during the day. I was on the phones during the day. And I took a lunch break. And I was in Century City, LA. And I went through the area where they had some shops and some restaurants. I was going to get something to eat. And as I walked down through the courtyard, I see Prince coming out of a ladies' clothing store called Judy's. And he's coming out of Judy's, and he's got this guy with him with a cowboy hat on, and they're walking together. And Prince was Prince,
Of course.
From the I Want to Be Your Lover, like he looked just like the album cover,
Wow.
And he's walking it through, and I look at him, I raise my head, hey man, he goes, hey man. And I stopped and said, aren't you a singer? He got pissed off. It's like, yeah, I was singing. You know, like, you don't know who I am?
Right.
Of course I knew who he was.
Of course, yes.
And anyway, his manager, oh yeah, this is Prince, and he's got a record out, blah, 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 I want to be your lover. I said, oh yeah, yeah. And, you know, I'm gonna, and he said he's going to be performing later on at the skating rink over in La Cienega Boulevard in Santa Monica. And here's some tickets and come on by, you know. So I went by and hung out. It was cool, it was a great show. He had Andre Simone with him.
Oh.
And Dex. And yeah, it was a great band. It was a cool band. That was his first band.
Wow.
They were good. They were hot.
Every band Prince was in was great.
Oh yeah, well they're playing the music he wrote.
Oh man, every band he was in was.
And you know, Andre ended up with Jody Watley.
Wait a minute.
You know Jody Watley?
After she left Shalimar, had to be, right?
Yeah, and then when all of those records she did with Andre.
That's, you know what? I forgot about that. You're absolutely right. Because that was after she left Shalimar.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of Shalimar, you know, I when I got to LA, a friend of mine said, let's go see some friends of his at the Motown building. So we got hooked up and went on over, and we got in the elevator going up, and in walks, on the floor from the garage, in walks Leon Silvers.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, hey man, hey, you know, he knew my guy, kind of my partner, Jamie-O. And he goes, he looks me up and down, he goes, this guy a musician? And then Jimmy goes, oh yeah, man.
We all know who a musician is.
You know, he goes, oh yeah, he's a musician. He starts, you know, I didn't have to say nothing. He was oh cool. He goes, yeah, well come with me, man. I might have something I want you to do. Next thing I know, we're in Solar Records with Leon Silvers, and he's introducing me to Dick Griffey, okay, the president of the company. And he's going, yeah, this guy's a musician. I think he might be good for the group Dynasty. He might look good in the band. What do you think? And Dick goes, yeah, he'd be good for Dynasty.
Wow.
I'm just standing there like that. So then he goes, yeah, man, you know, you play percussion? Yeah, I play percussion. Give me what you got. We're going to have a rehearsal. He says, I can't pay you anything right now. However, we're going to put this together. We're going to launch this band. We already did some recording, but we're going to be recording the new Shalimar album the second time around.
Oh,
so
great album.
He says, you want, you know, I'll pay you to play on the album. So I ended up on the second time around album. Got to hang out with, you know, met everybody, and you know, became family. You know.
Of course.
And it was awesome, you know, hanging out with that group, you know, from you know, Solar. The whole Solar family was amazing.
Right.
It was great being in the studio when the Whisperers would come in and sing.
Oh man.
You know, Lakeside and the boys would come over. We were rehearsing at the same place, you know, with Dynasty.
Right.
You know, it was a great time, you know.
Right.
But, you know, I got into a few little issues, and they were getting ready to go on the Galaxy tour, you know. So I got some problems when I was early on, before I left San Francisco. And they said, you know, I left, I had to go down south. I couldn't go back to San Francisco. There was too much going on.
Goodness. My goodness. So we're going to fast forward. So now you are a DJ at Legends Radio. So how did you get into that? And a little bit before we have to go about your acting. How did you get into the acting part? And tell us the movie that you were into. You were in.
Well, we're going to talk about radio or acting first.
However you want to do it. Well, let's talk about the acting, because we're going to save that about 5 minutes for Legends.
Well, I mentioned that my father was an actor and a musician and a radio guy, and I was brought up basically in theaters and nightclubs as a young guy.
Right.
So I started doing acting. I did some more Broadway stuff when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, and I got into it then. Started doing it, and then he would also have me doing radio commercials for him. You know, reading different stuff on the radio for him, and so I was exposed to it early on, and then later on I got into a little bit of dance. I was involved with dance somewhat.
I can see you tap dancing.
Well, you know, I tapped a little bit, but I was more of a modern and jazz dancer.
Okay.
And I did some African dance as well, yeah. But anyway, so I ended up in LA. When I moved from San Francisco to LA, my first wife, she was a background singer for Tina Turner.
Wow, amazing.
She was like her daughter, actually. She traveled the world with her for over 2 years, and we ended up getting married on Tina's birthday.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, Tina was like my mother-in-law, for Pete's sake. It was really a bizarre situation. But I swear to God, it was so crazy, because I tell you, this is funny, right? First time I met, okay, first of all, I'm answering the phone when we moved in together before we got hooked up, right? And the phone would ring, hello? Hello, may I speak to Dee Dee? I'm like, yeah, who's calling? Silence. It's Tina. Oh, okay, hold on, Tina. Hey, Dee Dee, it's Tina. Tina, she get on the phone. Oh, Tina, blah, 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 blah. For days, they just cackling and laughing about, you know.
That's a great relationship.
So I said, yo, baby, I gotta go. Yeah, go ahead, I'll see you later. No. I'll go to the store, come back. They still on the phone. I said, yo, baby, I'm going to see my, yeah, I'll see you later. They was on the phone all the time, right?
Wow.
So sometimes she called and Dee Dee wasn't there. So we talk a little bit, you know, we're talking about this. And I got to know Dee, she was cool, you know. Really.
Yeah, she seemed like she was.
So she never met me until the day of her birthday and our wedding. So she sent a car for us. You know, we got married, small wedding at City Hall. And then she sent a car for us later that evening. We went up to her house in Encino.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
And we showed up, and the red carpet, you know, she got out. And as soon as we got there, the car pulls up, we get out, and all these people come outside. And I noticed a lot of the people from like TV shows and movie stars, I didn't know who they was, their names, but I recognized them, you know.
Right.
But I remember one of the first people I saw recognized, I saw Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls was holding a can of Budweiser. And I was thinking, I thought that was funny. Lou had that Budweiser war. So anyway, all these people were there, a few stars, you know, rock stars and stuff. And so they're throwing rice. Everybody knew Dee Dee. They're all throwing rice at her. And then I get up there, and I had a fro pretty similar to what you're wearing.
Oh, yes,
okay.
baby, yes.
Tina takes a handful of rice, and she stuffs it in her hair. So I'm like this, I'm shaking the rice, you know, the first called out. I said, daggone Tina. She goes, so this is Greg. And Tina said, yeah, this is Greg. She's all happy. The first thing Tina said, Dee Dee, I thought I told you to marry a white man. Funny, everybody said, ooh, whoa. And then I said, that's cold, Tina. Why you want to do me like that, you know, because we've been talking, you know.
Right.
I said, what you doing? And she said, well, he's almost white. I said, oh, that's jacked up, Tina. That's not cool.
That's
So guess what? So years later, I ended up with the Eurythmics. I was in a video with them called Would I Lie to You? Would I Lie to You?
Would I Lie to You? Yeah, of course. Would I Lie?
So I'm playing baritone sax in the video. And we got nominated for Video of the Year. Mm-hmm. So I got a phone call, and they said from management, Popeye, we want to fly you out. I was living in Hollywood. We want to fly you out, you know. I said, absolutely. So I went and did the gig. It was the same year that Tina had What's Love Got to Do with It.
Wow.
So I hadn't seen, me and Dee Dee had broken up already. We've been broken up for maybe 3 years, all right? So I get to the show, and it's the first time I saw Tina, and she's on one side of the stage, I'm on the other side of the stage. I look, I put my arms up, she puts her arms up, and we meet in the middle of the stage, and I'm hugging her.
That's
and I'm hugging her like this, hey, Tina, you know, she's hugging me, she whispers in my ear, I told Dee Dee to marry a white man.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Tina was funny.
Yeah, she seemed like she was. I mean, a great vocalist. I loved her story.
Oh, come on.
Vocalist is an understatement. She was great. She was great. So let's forward roll to the last little bit, which is what I really wanted to talk about, was Legends Radio. You can tell everybody how they can listen to you, and the days that you're on, and all that good stuff. And how did you get into that? And we're going to wrap it up.
Well, it was the radio station is Legends Radio, 100.3 on your FM dial in the Palm Beaches, and streaming all over the world. Yeah. So I play an eclectic mix of jazz, Latin jazz, bossa nova. I mix it up some blues and some old school R&B. And it's like a box of chocolates, baby. You never know what you're going to get, but it's going to be good. And I'm playing stuff that nobody else is playing.
That's right.
I celebrate the birthdays of those musicians that were kind of behind the scenes of the greats, and they recorded some really wonderful music that nobody ever heard necessarily. And I bring a lot of those to light every week. I bring new music to the airwaves, or old music revisited, I should say. So it's a lot of fun. I love it because each week I never know. I look up the birthdays and it's like I'm getting an education.
Right, right,
You see what I'm saying? You know, I'm looking up who it is and boom, 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 and I listen to, oh wow, what does this guy do? And I'm listening to the music. We're highlighting a lot of the Great American Songbook, and it's just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun hearing a lot of this stuff. And I also play some ethereal stuff. It's an eclectic jazz, if you will, music from different parts of the world. Yeah, so it's cool. Whatever strikes me, whatever I feel. You know, I go with the spirit. I'm a spiritual kind of guy.
Yeah, there it is. That's the best. That's the best. And what time are you on? And is it every Sunday,
actually,
every week, or?
Yes, every Sunday I'm on from 8 to 10.
Okay.
Sunday evenings, 8 to 10 p.m. Legendsradio.com or 100.3 on your FM dial in the Palm Beach area.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And where do you see yourself now? As you all know, Popeye and I, we work together in the Motown band and other things that we have coming up, as he spoke about. But this is one of the greatest musicians that I have ever worked with. I love it. I love your spirit, and I love your comedy, because we have kind of like the same sense of humor. So we'll be on stage, all this kind of stuff, and nobody knows what's going on. It's like a private joke, and we're on stage and we're singing and we're doing our movements and we're going, just making faces, and it's just so much fun. So where can we see you on the stage, coming near you, or anywhere around? Where can we find you?
Well, every
Do
Saturday.
you have a website or anything that
Actually, my site's down now. I'm rebuilding it, and I'm putting some new pictures in and fixing it up and doing some things.
Can we find you on Facebook?
Yeah, you'll be able to do that soon. But yeah, Gregory Popeye Alexander on Facebook. And I sing every Saturday night, if we're not doing a gig.
Right.
But I sing most Saturday nights at the Islander Grill and Tiki Bar, and that's located at the Palm Beach Shores Resort and villas over on Singer Island, inside of it's right downstairs. And they call it the Big Pink. You know the Big Pink across from Johnny Longboats?
Yeah, yes. I think I did that once or twice.
Yeah.
In that at one night I was there with somebody. Who was it? I think it was Troy.
Okay, yeah, you might have. Yeah. Troy does stuff to occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice little joint,
Yeah, it is. It's very nice, and the food is great. The atmosphere is great.
Yeah, real casual.
And very nice.
Yeah.
If you want to have a good time. So you're there every Saturday if we're not gigging.
Right.
Right.
It's where something else is, I have something else, yeah. But most of the time I'm there.
Okay, and then where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years, or in the future, going with your music? And even going back, if you're going to go back to acting, where do you see yourself? And that's going to be the last question. I promise.
No problem. I have some things that I have to do that I feel that I've been commissioned to do by my father and my spirit guides and my love for God.
Right.
And there are some things that I need to get done that are of a really spiritual level, that has to do with bringing people together.
Beautiful.
To really bring people together, and for a love of the land, a love of the life, a love of everything, because we're all one. I mean, when you really break it down, we're talking about the insects, we're talking about everything, man. We're one,
That's right.
All creatures, it's just the way it is. So I want to be able to bring that to the forefront of the mindset of all humanity, so that we can start treating life as precious as it is.
It is.
And not looking at, human life being so expendable, because it's over the top. I'm working on some really great humanitarian projects right now that I'm so blessed to be involved with. And part of it is going to be able to spread this love throughout the world.
Right.
And
we definitely need love.
Yes. So that's where I see myself, as being, if you will, an ambassador for love.
Yeah, and I think if we learn to respect each other just a little bit, you don't have to agree with everything a person says, but at least just, love, like you said, love and respect one another, because
That's right.
Life is so precious.
It is.
And it's a beautiful thing. And and it's definitely too short for foolishness. I love to say that, but it's a beautiful thing. But anything else you would like to add?
No, just that, you know, it's been a pleasure being here with you. And I forgot to mention, if you ever saw the 5 Heartbeats in the Hollywood Shuffle.
That's what I couldn't
movies.
remember. Thank you.
I did a lot of little bit parts of a bunch of films over the years, and that's always been fun. I'm looking forward to doing some more movies in the future. We got to put Felicia in some films, okay? we got to get baby ready to get some films. I got some things for her she don't even want to know about, okay?
I can't wait. I'm ready.
No, we're gonna get busy. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
So,
I can't wait.
That's about the size of it, you know. I'm just pleased to be here with you, and appreciate the opportunity, and you know, it's all good, baby.
And I've been trying to get you here for the longest. You know that. This is one of the interviews of this century because you have great stories. They're real stories. They're true stories. So with that being said, we're gonna say good night. Good night. We love you. Thank you, Diaspora TV. Thank you for having such a beautiful show as this. And as all the shows, thank you, Mr. Allen. Thank you, Mr. Donald. We love you guys. You guys stay blessed. Mwah. Say good night.
Keep love alive.
Keep love alive.
That's
We
it,
love
baby.
you. Love you, Mr. Popeye. Love you. I love you so much. Mwah.